It got me and brought me out of addiction and alcoholism. And now my life has begun to flourish, and I can spread a message that words possess wellness. In my day, we had people who were poets, we had people who were rappers, MCs, and we had people who could do both. Not every rapper can write poetry and deliver poetry in a way that doesn't sound like verse rap. Not every poet can rap. A lot of poets can. So a poemc is someone who has the ability to do both separately or even in the same piece, or blend it together, which is more or less what I've done. And I believe that's what makes my poetry exciting and engaging. I never chose to be a poet. I fully believe poetry chose. I've lived a life of some pretty heavy personal struggle with addiction and alcoholism. I had some bad traumas that happened at age 8, and that's when I discovered alcohol. But I can tell you it was my own personal holocaust that I just recently got out of 5.5 years ago. When I look backwards at all the struggle I've had in my personal life, I never had struggle in the arts. Poetry was always easy. It was always a comfort, it was always a hug, a cloak. It was always something warm. It literally saved my life. And now it's given me this life. It got me and brought me out of addiction and alcoholism. And now my life has begun to flourish, and I can spread a message that words possess wellness. Calgary now has a reputation of being one of Canada's cultural capitals. It is now becoming a poetic capital of Canada. We are a respected community. We're no longer this country bumpkin backwoods cow-town team. We're just growing and loving that we're one of the cities that are promoting and spreading the message that poetry is powerful and that it is for the people. This poem is titled, I Can. After a decade of delivery on the MIC, unbelievably, people still asking me, what can you do with poetry? That question used to make me angry. It used to get me hot. Now I tell them have a seat and ask them how much time they got. For you see, with poetry, I can duly dance down those same halls of learning where I once had the yearning to be a well-accomplished human with a 4.0. But my GPA was sadly way far below. I never got the knack of the educational flow. They made me sit still, so I stood still. I can confidently, comfortably cruise into classrooms where I was once coerced to create a captured, cornered mental state so I could clearly create a way to hate my own mind by my educators. They were educators. They formed a form to form my formative years, tainted with intolerance and a tidal wave of tears that sailed all of my dreams away from me. For they likened my self-image with one of stupidity. It was all that I heard and all that I could see. I can now be free.
And that's just a brief glance at what makes our city famous for poetry and spoken word. See you next time on Living a Creative Life.